We're going to talk about the flipper experience that I had on Record Store Day. I mean, after all, we're not even a month away from Record Store Day, so it's still worth talking about. People are still hyped up about it. Once we get to a month or so down the line, perhaps maybe we'll all be sick of it. But I'm still thinking about it. I'm still loving it. And I didn't quite get to the flipper story in the last episode, so I think we're going to cover all the bases of that as well. We're going to cover a couple of other things. We're going to start off with my pickups. I have two different types of pickups on my recent hauls. One where I physically went to the record stores and got some stuff, so I'm going to show you that. And my mail orders, I'm going to hold off on the mail orders until the next episode because one or two pieces are not in yet, and we'll show you that. And I went to the Springsteen concert. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band at UBS Arena in Long Island, or is it Queens, or is it Belmont, or where the fuck is it, as Bruce would say? I don't know, but the concert was fantastic. Not going to get into the concert all that much here. I'm going to do a posting on that, but let's get right to it. Let's get to the pickups in the store. And first one, we have Sting, Dream of the Blue Turtles. I bought this one used. It's not in the best shape, but it was only $4.99 at a record store down in the city. You see, it's a little banged up. I actually listened to this. I like to listen to the used vinyl that I purchased right away in case there's anything super wrong with it. Then I could go get a refund or an exchange or what have you. But this one sounds really good. It sounds well, and I'm happy for that, even though the cover is not the greatest. So I wasn't going out there looking for any Sting. I don't have any other Sting in my collection, but I figured why not? It's $4.99, and I already have an album from Andy Sumner in the back. I showed you all my Stuart Copeland pickup for Record Store Day, so now I have a solo album from each member of the Police. I have yet to get a Police album, so we'll get to that at some point, I presume. Not totally on the radar, but if it happens, it happens. But Dreaming of Good Blue Turtles, good album. Never really listened to the whole album. Of course, I knew the hits. Russians is one of my favorite songs of the 80s, and there was some stuff there I never heard before that was pretty good. And it's not that I'm not a huge Sting fan, but I'm not gaga over him. I don't really see myself buying many of his other albums, but I thought it was a cool thing to have at least one album from each member of the Police in the collection. So that was a natural to pick up. This is another pickup that I did that I wasn't quite planning on doing, but after I saw the film, I said I got to do it. And of course, we're talking about the Michael soundtrack. I went to see the movie last week, I think the Saturday after it came out, and I really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie, great music, great pickups of Michael. The nephew did a great job, and the soundtrack has a lot of the good stuff on it. So I said, why not? I went and picked it up. And it has a few of the songs from the Jackson 5, all the Jacksons that I don't have on vinyl, so I thought that was cool. I have all of the big albums from Michael Jackson, but I thought this was money well spent. It is cool. I have not listened to this one yet. I will soon enough, and I'm hoping it is good. This is another pickup on the hunt. As I told you, we have Pieces of a Man from Gil Scott Heron. This is his debut album, and it is a masterpiece. Again, I've listened to this album before, but not this particular purchase yet. But since I got the Gil Scott Heron pickup for Record Store Day, I have to get more of his records in my collection. And this was new. at the record store at Rough Trade, the same place I went to record store day 4. So had to get it. Okay, we have a few more pickups. The rest of them were all used. This one was also at Rough Trade, a used Marvin Gaye live at the London Palladium, great live album. And it has the 11-minute, 48-second version of the Smash Disco hit Got to Get. And it's in pretty good shape, all things considering. And it was a pretty good price. Okay. Up next, just a couple more. Another used one, Genesis Trick of the Trail. Trick of the Tail, sorry. Trick of the Tail, not Trail. So this is the very first Genesis album that featured Phil Collins as the lead singer. Peter Gabriel was no more. And this is a good one as well. It has a very popular ripples on it. Very cool cover. And again, a decent price used. Not terrible shape, not obviously not mint condition, but we get what we get as collectors. Nothing in here really. No, it has a good gatefold in it, but inner sleeve is nothing to write home about. Of course, I haven't gotten to my anti-static inner sleeves for that one yet, but we'll get to that. And my last pickup of the in-person haul of recent times, and this one I was not expecting at all. Small Creeps Day by Mike Rutherford, and it says right on the album, debut album from Genesis bassist Mike Rutherford. And again, I did not listen to this yet. When I do get to listen to it, I'll do a little write-up. You see the sticker here, promo sticker. For promo use only, not for sale. Of course, that was a million years ago when those were the rules. Now all rules must be broken when it comes to old vinyl. Interesting back. And that's it. Those are the new additions to the record room. We'll get to some more of the mail order stuff in our next episode. So now let's get to what we wanted to talk about with the flippers. And before we get to that, I wanted to make a correction or two. Of course, I'm going to forget everything that I wanted to say. But hey, that's why we keep doing this, right? Well, we remember. But one thing I did want to point out from my last episode was that I had said I was not a big fan of live music, and I want to correct that a little bit. I am a big fan of live music to go see it live. I'm not a big fan of live music in terms of purchasing albums, vinyl live music. I do have a decent amount in my collection, but they're all, pretty much my favorites: Springsteen, Stone Temple Pilots, Weiland. So I don't really go overboard with the live stuff. The Marvin Gaye one was another one that I felt like, that's an exception. But I do love live music. I love to go see live music, but to buy a vinyl of live music, I'd rather have the studio stuff for the most part. But I just wanted to point that out. I recognized that after the last episode commenced. But now let's talk about the flippers. We all know flippers, and if you are a record collector, you know what a flipper is. You know what to look for with flippers. They're the ones that go buy these albums and they sell them, and they try and multiply 2, 3, 4 times what they bought it for, sometimes on eBay or on Discogs, and they're often very successful with it. They put the work in to do it, and record store day is just like the way it is for us collectors, but in a different way. It's like their Super Bowl. They have to really plan, really make the effort to go do it. And I didn't realize how serious these flippers are until I actually camped out on Record Store Day in Manhattan this year. So, as I said, when I think I was number 11, yeah, I was number 11 on the line. I parked myself in front of Rough Trade at about 8:45 p.m. So I was number 11 online, and right in front of me was a couple was 9 and 10, and a few people ahead of that was this young kid, and they didn't really seem like they were in cahoots with each other. They talked to each other. The young kid was introducing himself to other people as well, said hello to me briefly, and then he had a friend take over for him. So I didn't really know what was going on at the time. They kept going back and forth. The woman was a heavy smoker. She kept going off the line, going down the block to smoke. The dude disappeared for a little while and then came back. And then, at our line at Record Store Day, if you're there, if you have your spot set up, chair, what have you, and you go walk away, it's well known. You could come back with, it's not a big deal. So they kept doing that. And then when it got closer to, the wee hours of the morning, I would say about 1, 2 in the morning, my man pulls out like a little mat type of bed thing, parks himself on that, takes a snooze, covers his face. The woman falls asleep a little bit, but she doesn't lay down like he does. And they're sleeping. He's actually sleeping the night away. She was sleeping briefly, going back and forth. And then the other dude who took over for his friend disappeared for a little while with another friend of his. I mean, all these people do is eat garbage all night. They come back with Dunkin' Donuts. They come back with a bunch of McDonald's. The young dude even had like an Uber delivery come, big bags of food. It's like they really, pig out while they're waiting. Whatever, right? So we're getting closer to the moment of truth where the sun's going to come up and we're going to start getting ready. And when it felt like it was never going to come, the moment is here. So I would say, and this guy's still sleeping, I would say about 7, because the Rough Trade opened at 9 o'clock for business. I would say about 7 o'clock, between 7 and 7:30. One of the workers come out and start giving us our list to fill out. And this was a little different from the year before. From the year before, they did not give us our lists to fill out until they took us downstairs to the bottom where the store is. So I thought that was a little different. I wasn't expecting them to come out and give us the list and the pencils and all of that. But then I remembered last year it was a shit show in terms of the weather. It was raining a lot. So they probably didn't want to give us the list outside in the rain. So that's probably why they did that. Anyhow, the couple gets their list, and the minute everybody gets the list, they're all, what should I get? What should I get? Should I get Hillary Duff? Should I get this? So everybody, it's like, forget it. It's like getting, the greatest fix ever. But these two people, the guy takes the list, puts it to the side, and goes back to sleep. And she's like not sleeping, but she's not filling out her list. She's going like this. And I'm like wondering why the hell these people must not want a lot of titles, because they're not filling out their list. They must know exactly what they want, and that's it. Gets closer to the time, and then the couple and the young dude, that was I think 2 or 3 people ahead of us, start communicating with each other, and he's like, check your phone. And the wife's like, yeah, check your phone. And the guy woke up grumpy. He didn't want nothing to do with nothing. So he starts looking at the phone, and they're still not filling out the list. They tell us to get up, to start lining up to go downstairs, and they're still not filling out the list. Everybody else's list is filled out. We're giving our list to the worker. And the guy was like real grumpy, real nasty. He's like, I just effing got the list. Hold on, I'm not ready. and they're looking and they're checking off all these titles, and they go all the way downstairs, and they still don't know what the hell they're doing. They still scrambling on the phone looking, where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. I can't find it. So, guy worker from Rough Trade patiently walks over, and once again he refers to them by their name. They were 9 and 10. I was 11. It's like 9 and 10. Do you have your list yet? No, 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 no. So he goes like, all right, well, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes, but then I'm going to have to start. I don't want to skip you, but everybody's waiting, whatever. And he's getting grumpy. He's yelling. He's all out of whack. Can't find titles, and I'm still not exactly 100%. I'm a little slow, I guess, because I really didn't even know what the heck was going on. And then they finally come back, and the list is, I was like, this has got to be it, whatever it is. This has got to be good enough. That's what he said. So he gives the list to the guy, and they don't write his name. He's like, what's your name, sir? My name. He looks at his phone. I don't fucking know my name. Amir. And the guy's looking at him like he's crazy. And then the woman hands the list over, and she has the name Sean. And she's not, I don't know, whatever it is, but Sean for her, I wouldn't have called her a Sean. So it's like really strange. But now the lists are finally, and they were the two people ahead of me. So I was kind of happy. Now they could take my list and start looking for my stuff. All right. So lo and behold, somehow these people, they had like 42 freaking titles on their list, and they got called even ahead of people that were ahead of them. I don't know how that works, but that's what they did. Apparently, they don't really start pulling your titles till it's your number. And how they were able to, first of all, they didn't give the list right away. They had over 40 titles on their list, and somehow their pile of records was ready before a lot of other people who ordered a lot less stuff. So that was another thing that was very confusing. So they finally go inside, and the young kid who took over for his was on his list. So then these two other young dudes come down, and they already went to another record store day somewhere else in Manhattan. And they come over, and they're looking. And then the young kid comes over to his friend. Then they obviously all know each other. And he goes to him, yo, dude, where did you get these freaking people? They're like freaking Beavis and Butthead. They're so stupid. The guy, all he did was sleep. He slept till 8:30 in the morning. He didn't even know what name to put down. It's like he was cheating on a test. He didn't want to put his own name. It's like, these people are so dumb. Where did you get them from? And then the young kid, I forgot the kid's name. He's like, oh, I don't even know who. Point them out to me, because they were in the store at the counter. They had the pile of records. So now it's all coming together for me. They hire these two schmucks to wait online to buy a bunch of records so that they could flip. They went to their record store somewhere else. There's like 3 big city record stores in New York City that come participate. I think Rough Trade is the only one that does the list format, though. So they're like, how much did you pay these people? And I think he said 300. So they were hired to stay there all night to buy records so these guys could flip them. That's deep. That's pretty serious. So now I'm aware of this, and I know this is happening. So now I know if everything is the way it should be next year, I'll get there even earlier so I could get ahead of these people, because they were a complete disaster. So you had 3 different people that were flipping records online within the first 11 people, and they bought over 40 titles a piece. And they got paid to do it, $300. So, this is an interesting business. I was trying to figure out the numbers, because if you're the flipper, you're paying these people $300 a piece. You're paying for all the records. So you're really banking on getting double or triple each album. And it must be worth it. Otherwise, why do it? Why go through that? whole fiasco. And they were talking about how at the other record store it was a madhouse. People were trying to rip records out of my hand and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, well, if they knew you were a friggin' flipper, they might have hit you with a damn hammer. Collectors hate flippers. A couple of people who were onto them that were ahead of me were really upset about it. I could care less because I have a philosophy like, if you are going to put that kind of an effort into it and you are doing it to make money, good for you. I don't necessarily like the idea that they're buying a record that could go into the hands of a fan and they are charging. But if fans are stupid enough and lazy enough to not want to go online, if they're lazy enough to not want to go online, not put the work in, and stupid enough to buy double or triple the price of an album that they were too lazy to go park out to get themselves for a regular price, then the hell with them. That's my philosophy. It's like, beat the flippers to the line, get your ass out there, put the work in. If especially now, if you get there 7, 8 in the morning, you run the risk of not getting your record. Put the work in. You don't want to put the work in. You're willing to give somebody else 4 times what the album is worth, then so what? I don't have a problem with it. I wouldn't do it. You get rid of flippers very easily that way. Go online yourselves, pay the regular price, put the damn work in, and don't buy the album for double, triple, sometimes quadruple the price. And then you don't have flippers anymore. But they're obviously benefiting from it. I mean, they're willing to pay somebody $300 or more to sleep out overnight so they can get their hands on their records and make a profit. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we live in a world where everybody's trying to beat the man, but I don't think this is a big. I don't think that is it illegal. I don't even think it's whatever. eBay, you're allowed to put whatever the hell you want on the price. People are either going to buy it or you're not going to get your sale. Same thing with Discogs. People are buying these albums for double, triple the. People are so lazy and stupid. They're giving these flippers their money before the online stock even goes on the next day, the next morning. All those that participate in Record Store Day put their leftover inventory online the next morning. But if you look at eBay, even 4 hours after Record Store Day starts, you will see some of these albums selling for double, triple the price. That's how stupid people are. Flippers are just taking advantage of stupid people. You want the record that bad, you don't care about your wallet. If you don't care about your wallet, then good for the flippers. They're making out. The best that the record store people could do is most of them anyway, I don't know if all of them do, but most of them limit you to 1 album per customer. So they can't gouge you that bad. That's why they buy over 40 titles. But it's the most ridiculous thing I ever seen. That I think it was the Grateful Dead. It was going for double the price, 2-3 hours sold. Not listed, sold. If you go to eBay and filter to look at what items sell, you see exactly what was sold and for what price. And these Record Store Day albums were going for a ridiculous amount of money before the online inventory was even released. And even now, I think you could still get that Grateful Dead or the Pink Floyd. I think it was the Pink Floyd that went for the double. There are some albums you can't find that people are really paying a lot for. The Look Outside Your Window, the Slipknot one, the Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer, is going for double or triple. Ethel Kane is another one. So, but for the most part, you can get what you want either on Record Store Marketplace or the online inventory the morning after for close to, if not the same price that it was being sold the morning of Record Store Day. So why pay a flipper? Because people, it just impulse, I guess. I don't know. So I mean, good for the flippers. Beat the system, right? To me, it's a lot more honest way of beating the system than all this pirating is going on, this illegal streaming. That just drives me nuts. I hate that. You know, whether it's a pay per view or a streaming service like Disney, everybody's stealing from the creative people that way. They're stealing from all the people that are on the crew. They're committing a crime. Flipping to me is not as serious. And believe me, I used to do it too. I used to go to my cousin's house, pay per view boxing, watching on the hot box all the time. I'm guilty, but at some point I realized I was doing wrong and I don't do it anymore. So it's one of those things where, you know, is flipping as bad? I don't know. I mean, you're not stealing from the creative artist because you are selling a product that you already bought. You already gave Peter Gabriel the sale before you flipped. When you go steal on F movies or whatever other nonsense you do, you're stealing, you're taking away from that creative artist. You're taking away from the people who work hard on the crew. You're taking money away from them. And people don't care. Oh, well, they got enough money anyway. No, it doesn't work that way. Not everybody has that. So that drives me nuts. It's like, just go watch something else. If you don't want to pay for it or you can't afford to pay for it, then watch something else. Don't steal it. I have a much harder time with that than with flippers. But that doesn't say I'm out to get the flippers in my own way. I hope that I could get there early enough to beat all flippers online. What are your thoughts about it? I don't know. Maybe you see things differently. Maybe you don't care about the illegal streaming. Maybe flippers who take records away from real collectors get under your skin a lot more. Tell me and tell me why. Are you a flipper yourself? Is it really worth it to pay people that kind of money to buy all these records and then to go through all the headache of having to ship the records, and then you got to worry if it's damaged? Some gabon at the post office messes it up, and you gotta pay for it because you get complaints or negative feedback if you don't take care of it. I mean, I've tried to resell things that I've had, and to me, I found it to be nothing but a headache. I don't buy the stuff with the intention of flipping. But I never saw it to be worth it. I mean, I never got anything double or triple the price of what I paid, so maybe that's another reason why I feel that way. But if it's worth it, I don't have a problem with it. If people are stupid enough to pay that kind of money for an album they could have went out and got themselves for a cheaper price, but they just didn't want to be bothered, I don't have a problem with that. What are your thoughts? I'll leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. Please like and make some comments. Please tell me what you feel about the Land and Hope and Dreams Springsteen concert post coming up soon. Hopefully next time we're on, I'll have a nice guest for you. I have something prepared. We just got to get it done and settled. I'm starting to figure out some of this equipment a little bit better. And we'll be back soon enough. Till then, put the needle on the record.